Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So I did this video last year and I did it again this year, but I'll be ranking all of my Christmas/holiday vibes palettes. We have 37 sitting in front of me. That's right, I said 37. Last year I ranked my top 10, but now we're ranking my top 37 Christmas/holiday inspired palettes. You guys want to see what I have sitting here in front of me, what my thoughts are on them? Well, then definitely keep watching. I literally had so much fun during this video last year. I started off with ranking my fall inspired palettes, then I did my Halloween inspired palettes, and now we're doing my Christmas/holiday inspired palettes. So I do have 37 sitting in front of me. Now typically in my previous videos I have done like just ranking my top 10, the rest for honorable mentions, but I was like, you know what, why not just rank all of them? So we're going to start off with number 37. So number 37, we have the Natasha Denona. This is the Xenon palette. Now the reason why this is in today's video, which I'm sure you guys are probably like, why is this palette in here, is because I would gravitate to this particular palette during New Year's. For some reason, when it comes to New Year's, I always either want a really gold eye look or really like black silvery eye look. There's something about it that is just so classical to me when it comes to New Year's. I just go, oh, I'm gonna do New Year's crazy. I'm gonna do like a New Year's inspired look. I just love doing silvers and blacks and sometimes gold, and sometimes all three for New Year's. So that is why I did pick this palette, because I thought this would be a perfect palette for the New Year's season. If you want to go out and celebrate, you want to do something fun and festive, you want to do something like throwback to like the early 1920s, this is going to be this will be that perfect palette for you. So this is why coming in at number 37, we do have the Natasha Denona. This is the Xenon palette because it's perfect for New Year's. Coming in at number 36, I have not reviewed this on my channel because I did get it in PR about, I would say, less than a month ago, but ColourPop did release these really fun like holiday festive sets you guys can find over at Target. So they have different sets then, but they are themed towards the Christmas season. So up first, we do have Out All Night eyeshadow palette. You have the shades like you have the shades names like Feeling Frosty, Let's Cuddle, Silver Bells, Chill Out, and Winter Nights. So this is why these are included in today's video. Over here is definitely like a little version of the Xenon palette right here. I know they have like a little mini Xenon palette, but this is a ColourPop version of this. And again, this is just one of those palettes that I would absolutely use during the New Year's season. And for me, that's still part of the holidays. I can see myself going out getting festive with this. This is super, super cute, super affordable. I really do like this. And I like that it's called Silver Bells. You could do like a Christmas inspired look, or like if you're going to like a holiday party, this could definitely be the palette for you. So that is why number 36, we do have the ColourPop Out All Night palette. 35, we do have ColourPop's. This is the Jingle On eyeshadow palette. Again, this is part of those Christmas sets that you guys will see right over here. Now this has shade names like Party Hour, Be Extra, Cranberry Punch, Very Merry, and Gift Time. Now this is like more of an everyday wearing neutral palette that you can wear all season long. Super cute, definitely on the neutral side. You guys can wear this to any holiday parties you may be going to. It's just very, very, very just bland, essentially, very neutral. It is a cute palette, one that I could see myself wearing during the Christmas season, honestly, or wearing it on Christmas if I want to do something more neutral. But I did really like the vibes of this. It is called Jingle On. It does remind me of Christmas. So that's why coming in at number 35, we do have the ColourPop Jingle On palette. And coming in at number 34, we do have ColourPop. It is the Warm Wishes eyeshadow palette. Now this has shade names like Marshmallows, Sparkle Sins, Hot Cocoa, By the Fireplace, and Cozy Babe. This is definitely more of like a beautiful golden inspired eyeshadow palette. Very neutral. It will pair very beautifully with those other two palettes. And again, that definitely has those Christmas feels with the shade names, with the palette names. And you guys can also wear this during the New Year's season, any holiday parties. You guys can wear this every day. You guys can wear this every night. However you guys wish to do so. I just really like the concept behind this palette. I think it's super cute. I did already play with this one before. I really did enjoy that. I actually played with all of them. I made sure I played with all the palettes before I ranked them. I think it's really cute. This is going to be like a pressed glitter right here, so it's still not my favorite. I'm not a fan of pressed glitters, but definitely an easy palette to work with. So that is why at number 34, we do have the ColourPop. We have the Warm Wishes palette. Coming in at number 33, we do have Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Luxury Pops of palette. Now, the reason why I picked this is because during the Christmas season, I always want to wear a bright red, bold lip. It's what I always do. I always wear a red lip any time of year, but particularly during the Christmas season, I am truly obsessed with wearing a red lip all the time, off camera all the time. And so whenever I wear a red lip, I want to wear more of a neutral eyeshadow palette. And I just feel like this right here is just going to give you that right here. You're going to have those beautiful pops of shimmers. Very easy to create an easy eye look to this. It's all shimmers, but for some reason I think it's really pretty. I feel like it definitely fits into the holiday season with those colors of the rose gold, the champagne, the little copper bronze. Very, very beautiful, very easy to work with. And I think this is just like one of those perfect little holiday eye poppers that you can just pop on and enjoy the holiday seasons. That's why number 3, we have the luxury palettes of pop. Number 32, we have Dominique Cosmetics. This is going to be the sweater weather palette right here. Now this is definitely a holiday vibe palette. I got this years ago. This was actually seen in last year's video. I love the outside packaging. It feels like so textured. It looks like a nice little knit sweater. And then when you open up the color story on the inside, it is not that pretty of a color story. I actually personally don't like it. I'm gonna be completely real with you guys. I don't really like the color story. It's too cool tone, too just muted and not really full of life in my personal opinion. But I do love Dominique Cosmetics. I do know the formula in here is actually quite nice. And I just love the shade names. You have like Sweater Weather, Fuzzy, Toasty, Cuddle, Chill, and Messy Bun. Definitely perfect for the holiday season. So it is why it's ranked pretty low because it's my least favorite Dominique Cosmetics palette, but it definitely is a holiday vibe palette. I don't really use this anymore. I keep it just because I'm a hoarder when it comes to Dominique Cosmetics. I just can't seem to let go of things, but here we have at number 32, the Sweater Weather palette from Dominique Cosmetics. Coming number 31, when I think of Christmas, I do think of chocolate. I think of hot cocoa. I think of like Hershey Kisses and candy canes. And I think of like all like the little sweet drinks I get to have with little marshmallows sitting by the fires. So that is why at number 31, we do actually have the Glam Light collaboration with Hershey Kisses. This is the cookies and cream. Now, I never really eat chocolate ever anymore, especially because like when I lost my tooth a couple months ago, I've been so scared to have sweets, but legit, I'm not kidding. This is such a gorgeous palette, and it definitely does remind me of the Christmas season. And the reason would being is that 1, it's a chocolate palette, and I did eat a lot of chocolate during the Christmas season, but 2, you're gonna have those cool tone icy blues and whites and grays that I definitely do associate with the Christmas season because it reminds me of a little bit of a winter wonderland, like when the first fall of snow or going up and seeing mountains with like a nice little crystal clear blue sky with white snow everywhere. Freaking gorgeous. I got to see Maine when it was in the middle of January, when it was during like their really cold time. It was like -15. I got to go walk on a frozen lake, and this is kind of the vibe that it gets me. Then I got to have some hot chocolate with it. So this is why I do associate this palette with the holiday season, because I could create a really beautiful like icy blue style look with this while having like hot chocolate, wearing like white and blue, getting like little snowman vibe is what I get. So that is why at number 31, we do have the Glam Light collaboration with Hershey Kisses, the cookies and cream palette. Coming in at number 30, we do have another ColourPop palette. So this is the Twist of Slate palette. Now again, this may not seem like it would be an average like Christmas palette or holiday palette, but I see just a cool tone icy feel. I again see those snowflakes, I see this snowman, I see myself wearing this bundled up with like little rosy cheeks with like a little blue sweater and just being outside crunching on the icy snow, going skiing, going sledding. That is what I feel whenever I look at this palette right here. It's a very, very gorgeous palette. It definitely is on the cool tone side, and you can create so many different beautiful like winter style looks with this palette. That's why I really do enjoy this. So coming in at number 30, ColourPop Twist of Slate palette. And it's really sucks because I don't think they make this palette anymore, and I really do love this palette. I'm just like, can they bring it back? So coming in at number 29 is kind of like my own creation that I did with Odin's Eye Cosmetics. So about, I think a year ago, they released single eyeshadows, and I kind of created this little bundle of joy myself. So this is my little rendition of like a holiday inspired palette. I created this last year and I didn't feature it for some reason, but this does remind me of the holidays. This reminds me of Silver Bells, Icy Blue, Christmas Eve, just like that nice little snowman, kind of like the vibes that I had behind me. Like last week, I recently been rocking like a icy blue eye look. You guys seem to really love it, and I also really loved it myself. I was quite surprised with how much I fell in love with like an icy blue look, and I feel like you can kind of create that with this right here. It kind of reminds me of the Aurora Borealis. It kind of just reminds me of like being a little snowman. It just gives me off like the winter vibes, like an icy cold winter vibe. So there's no name for this palette because like I said, it's just individual shadows that I just kind of put together. I couldn't tell you the names of these either because I got them last year and there's no names in the back. But we do have the Odin's Eye single eyeshadow palette coming in at number 29, and I don't know what to call it, so my little palette, I guess. Coming in at number 28, we do have the Glam Light. This is the Hershey's Milk Chocolate palette. Now here you're gonna have those nice golden bronzy tones. Now, when it comes to glam light, I like wearing for the holidays like a golden brown look. I think it's so freaking pretty. I think it goes very, very well with a classic red lip, and I feel like this is a perfect holiday look, and this palette's going to give you just that. You're going to have your deep browns, your light browns, your golds, your silvers to create the most beautiful everyday holiday inspired look. You don't have to wear a red lip with this. You could just wear like a neutral look with this, and you can wear this look every single day. I think it's a really beautiful palette. It's chocolate, just gets me into the mood of the holiday season. So that is why at number 28, we do have the Glam Light collaboration with Hershey's Milk Chocolate palette. Number 27, we do have another ColourPop palette. This is the Clay It Cool palette. Now the outside and the inside probably wouldn't really scream holidays to anybody, but I just look at the tones in here. You're gonna have like those rosy gold tones, a little bit of those red clay tones that you can really use during the Christmas season. Like I would want to play just kind of strictly with these shades right here to create just a really beautiful everyday holiday look. I think it could be paired beautifully with a red lip, but I also think it could be paired really beautifully with like a neutral lip as well. It's a very beautiful everyday inspired palette, and I think you can definitely use this a lot during the holiday season. So that is why at number 27 we do have the Clay It Cool palette with ColourPop. Number 26, we do have another ColourPop palette. Now I reviewed this last year during my Vlogoween series actually, and I fell in love with this palette. Now this kind of reminded me of like a Valentine's Day palette, but like at the same time it was kind of marketed for the holiday season. But we do have ColourPop, Not a Box of Chocolate. Now people do give chocolates to each other during Christmas. Like I consistently give my friends Ferrero Rocher, like that type of chocolate. It's like a very fancy chocolate. My friends love it. My parents love it. That's usually a gift that I always bring to people all the time for the holiday season. So I kind of can get the vibe of why this was released last October. But when you open the color store on the inside, this is just gorgeous. Again, this is just like that Glam Light palette where you're going to have those mix of golds, you're going to have those mix of browns, and a little bit of copper bronze in here as well. It's a very beautifully aesthetically pleasing palette. I had so much fun playing with this. I can literally create the eye look that I'm wearing right now, which I'll show you guys how I did this later, but literally I can recreate that look using this palette. I think it's really pretty, and it definitely gets me into the holiday spirits. I could wear a bright red lip with this, I could wear a neutral lip with this, and I just had so much fun when I played with this palette. I definitely think it is a beautiful Christmas palette or holiday palette in my mind, because you can use this for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. You can use so much with this palette. So that is why at number 26 we do have the ColourPop Not a Box of Chocolate palette. At number 25, this palette is featured during my fall ranking palettes, and it's also featured during my holiday ranking palettes. I featured this last year, and I'm going to probably feature it again next year, but we do have the Tarte Original Man Eater palette. I know they came out with another one recently this past year. I did not get my hands on that, but I do have the Original Man Eater palette. And like I said in last year's video, this is definitely a universal like holiday palette. Not only can you use this like during the fall season, but you can also use it during the Christmas season and the holiday season as well. You're going to have those greens, you're going to have those golds, you're going to have those silvers, you're going to have those purples, and you're going to have a little bit of those rose golds that you guys can use literally from fall all the way until the end of the year. This is such a universally gorgeous palette. It can be used for honestly any season out there, but I particularly love it during the fall to winter season because you can just create so many looks using this. You can dress it up, you can use this as an everyday eyeshadow palette, you can use it as a smoky eyeshadow palette, you can use it as a Thanksgiving, a Christmas, a holiday, New Year's. You can use this for so much. I really do enjoy this palette. It really took me by surprise last year when I first got it, and I still stand by what I said in my previous ranking video of my Christmas palettes, that this is a gorgeous holiday palette. Gorgeous holiday palette. So that is why coming in at number 25 we do have the Tarte Man Eater palette. Coming in at number 24, I don't think I've ever really featured this palette on my channel since the very dawn of time. Since the very beginning, when I first started reviewing eyeshadow palettes, I featured this palette right here from ABH, and it is the Soft Glam palette. Now for me, this is a staple for so many people out there. So many people love and live by this palette. They use it every single day, and I just think this is just one of those classic palettes that are just great for any occasion, especially during the holidays, because you're going to have so many of those neutral shades, but you're also going to have those gold shades that I just truly love during the Christmas and holiday season. It pairs very beautifully with all the other shades in here. You can create a very beautiful holiday inspired look. I just think it's such a gorgeous palette, great formula. So it's why I wanted to feature it in today's video. It's still not as high because it doesn't give off as much of a holiday vibe, but it definitely has just enough to it to classify in my mind that this can be used during the holidays. So coming in at number 24, we do have the ABH Soft Glam Palette. Coming in at number 3, I actually ranked this pretty high last year, but it did fall down the list. We do have the Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership Moonlit Seduction palette right here. This honestly is a gorgeous palette. Like, these tones right here are what I want for a holiday palette. I want to be able to use this shade and pair it beautifully with all the other shimmers that are in there right there. I can use this to do a nice like little like burgundy rose gold moment for the holidays. I can dress it down. I could do more of like a golden for like New Year's. I could do more of everyday or silver bells for like Christmas. There's so much I can do with this palette. I think it's really gorgeous. I ranked it pretty high last year. As much as I don't care for their customer service, they did have a great palette when it came to the Moonlit Seduction palette. So that is why at number 23, we do have the Pat McGrath Moonlit Seduction palette. Okay guys, coming at number 2, we do have the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty. Now I reviewed this, I think it was like 2 years ago during the Christmas season. So for me, this has a little bit of like a Christmas vibe because I associate it with Christmas and when I reviewed it. And to me, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Now you can use this every single day. It does not have to be used just for the Christmas season, but I can definitely see myself picking this up during the holidays to create a beautiful Christmas eye look, especially if I want it to be something every single day, because you do have like those soft plum purples in here, those soft pinks with those light little champagne rose gold colors and like those little pinky shimmers right here. Very, very gorgeous, very fitting for any type of season personally, but you can definitely use this a lot during the holiday season, especially if you want to create a beautiful, just soft Christmas glam. This could be something that you can wear and you could pair very beautifully like a bold red lip and then just call it a day. I think it's really gorgeous. So coming at number 22, we do have the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. Coming in at number 21, we do have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. Now this is a gorgeous, gorgeous cool tone neutral palette. I have already used this quite a bit since getting it. I think it's a beautiful everyday palette that you can use during any holiday occasion. It doesn't matter what holiday it is, but any holiday occasion, this is going to be that perfect palette. For me personally, if I wanted to do like a Christmas or holiday inspired look, I would go just for like a deeper brown and then use this shade right here, or kind of just use this row to create a really beautiful holiday inspired look, or very soft Christmas glam, or just a very soft glam to wear during the holiday season. I think this is gorgeous. I love having a neutral look during the holiday season because like I said, I can pair it very nicely with my red lip and I just think it's really beautiful. So that is why at number 21, we do have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. Coming in at number 20, I think I got this in 2020. I don't remember, maybe 2021, I don't remember, but we have the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. Now there's two versions of this. We have the deeper one right here, and this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful face and eye palette. I love using this during the holiday season, but I don't just use this one by itself. I do mix it with the next one that's going to be coming up because I feel like these two together just complement each other beautifully. It's why I got both. But this is such a gorgeous, stunning palette that you can use all holiday season. You guys can use it for Thanksgiving, you guys can use it for Christmas, you guys can use it for New Year's or any holiday party every day. I just love the brown tones in here, the gold tones in here, the rose gold tones in here. It's a very beautiful holiday inspired palette in my personal opinion, and you can get so much use out of it. So that is why at number 20 we do have the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette, but then at number 19 we do have the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. We have the light version. So like I said, these two really do kind of complement each other very, very nicely. I use these a lot during the holiday season because there's just something about these two together that I just think is so beautiful. I just love pairing those neutral shades, those shimmers together, mixing it with the blush and highlighter. It is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I loved when I got them. This is kind of like what made me fall in love with the brand, not gonna lie, was this right here. And they're just so much fun to play with. Definitely perfect for the holiday season in my personal opinion because I feel like you can get so much use out of it. So coming in at number 20 and 19, we do have both both Natasha Denona Glam Face Palettes. Coming in at number 18, we do have the Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This is the All Done Up palette. Now this palette right here, I think is beautiful, 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 beautiful for the Christmas and holiday season because you can do like nice little sparkly eye looks. You could do matte looks with this. This is just one of those palettes that I want to use during like the New Year's season when I want to create like a really fun golden eyeshadow look to celebrate New Year's. This would be something that I can definitely grab into because you're gonna have those two deep golds to choose from. You're gonna have a nice little black shade to line your lids with. You have some browns to go with it, and you can also do some silver moments too if you want to do like a silver to gray eye look as well. You're gonna have that option in here as well. So more versatile for like the New Year's season, but I do think it's really beautiful nonetheless. And then you could definitely use this for Christmas as well if you just want to pair gold and brown to do something very similar to what I'm rocking right here. So this is a very, very beautiful holiday palette in my opinion. So that is why at number 18, we do have the Blend Bunny Cosmetics. We have the All Done Up palette. Moving into number 17, this one dropped pretty far from the last compared to, this one dropped pretty far on the list compared to last year, but we have the Makeup by Mario. This is the Ethereal Eyeshadow palette. Now this to me is just a gorgeous, gorgeous neutral palette. I find myself digging into this on a daily basis if I want to do like just a neutral eye look off camera. I really do love this palette. I think it's really beautiful, but this is just one of those palettes I think can be used all the time during the Christmas season, and not just Christmas season, anytime in reality, but like anytime really. But I just feel like this is just one of those soft neutral eyeshadow palettes that give you just enough pop of color that'd be really effortless to wear during any holiday season that you guys have. And this to me is just such a gorgeous neutral palette. I fell in love with it last year when I got it, and I ranked it pretty high last year in my holiday ranking, but I feel like we have more holiday inspired palettes that go ahead of this. But to me, I just think this is beautiful to wear during the Christmas season or holiday season, honestly, and I couldn't get enough of it. So that is why coming in at number 17, we do have the Makeup by Mario. We have the Ethereal Eyeshadow palette. Coming at number 16, we do have the Alter Ego. This is the Canon palette right here. Now, for some reason, I think colors like this remind me so much of the holidays. I don't know why. I guess I just associate like a nice golden shadow with like a beautiful holiday eye look. Maybe that's what my thing is. I know this is more of like supposed to be like a bronze palette, like more for summer, but for me, I just see holiday because I just see those beautiful golden tones and those copper shades that'd be great for the New Year's season to dress up, dress down, wear any occasion. I just think this is such a gorgeous palette. I feel like you can create so many beautiful, like really bold Christmas, really bold golden looks during the holiday season with this palette. I really, really love it. This is a dupe to the Natasha Denona bronze palette, which I do not have actually, but this is a perfect dupe to it. So that is why at number 16, we do have the Canon palette from Alter Ego. Coming in at number 15, we do have the Empowered palette from Huda Beauty. Now this is going to be one of the Christmas palettes that they rolled out with last year, and I will say I used a lot of this last year for the holiday season. I love these gold tones in here. I used it so much last year during my Christmas time because I really wanted to have something like this where it's just like nice and golden with like a little neutral to the side with a big red bold lip. That was my favorite look to go for last holiday, and it's still something I'm still obsessed with to this day, honestly. And I just feel like you can create a beautiful Christmas look with this, a beautiful holiday look with this, and a beautiful New Year's look with this. Like, I feel like this is going to be that go-to palette for me when it comes to New Year's this year. I'm gonna probably end up digging into here because I love taking these golden shades and mixing it with like that plum brown and adding a little bit of the champagne silver right here with some deeper shades. And then you also have like this nice little purple shades to kind of match. So this is such a beautiful holiday vibe palette to me. So that is why at number 15, we do have the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. Coming in at number 14, we do have the Alter Ego. This is the Mirage palette. Now, if you have the Empowered palette, you technically don't need this palette, but if you don't have the Empowered palette, this is going to be the palette for you because it cost a third of what the Empowered palette cost. And it's the exact same palette. It's the exact same palette. Like, these two literally are almost identical. I did do a review on these. And I will say, again, this is a beautiful, like, holiday-inspired palette. Not Christmas, but definitely holiday because it just has those nice little golden tones that I really look for during the holiday season. I can't get over how gorgeous these shades are right here. And I did do a comparison between the two, and this one actually kind of won because I do think the formula is a bit more fresher, so I just blended it a little bit better in my opinion, but still very gorgeous. So that is why at number 14, we do have the Mirage palette from Alter Ego. Coming in at number 13, now this is actually labeled a New Year's palette way back in the day. I want to say it came out in 2019, but we do have the ColourPop Good as Gold eyeshadow palette. Now this truly is a beautiful New Year's Eve palette. It's all gold. It's literally all gold. And this is what I wore for like the first 2 to 3 years for New Year's when I first got it before I got the other palettes. Like, this is what I wore because I just love the gold tones in this palette. Not only did I use the heck out of this for New Year's, but I also use this for the Christmas season. Like Christmas Day, I want to put on a nice little gold eyeshadow look. This is what I went for. Surprisingly, I don't go for green or red during Christmas. I go for gold. I think it's just something about it to me that is just so beautiful and classic that I just can't get enough of it. So that is why at number 12, that is why number 13, we do have the ColourPop Good as Gold palette. I don't know if they still have this. I really wish they did if they do, because these gold shades in here are so freaking pretty. Although I don't really play with this shade anymore because this is their pressed glitter, but this is their old pressed glitter. They definitely have reformulated it, and this pressed glitter just sucks ass, but it's still a really beautiful palette regardless. Coming in at number 12, this fell pretty far from the list compared to last year, but we do have the Minka palette from Adept Cosmetics. Now this right here is pretty much full of all foils. Now the reason why I put this in the holiday category is because I love this top row right here. Now these are more like pressed foiled metallic shades. Now these are so pretty. You can create so many different beautiful looks using this palette. But I will say that the shimmers in here are a little bit difficult to work with just because they do have so much pigment to them that they're not the easiest to want to work with. But when you can get them to work, they are so beautiful, so effortless, and they last you all day. And they just have that beautiful, nice little sparkle to them. And I feel like by adding this shade on top of just like a neutral brown or like a neutral eye look can be so pretty. And that is why I ranked it in my holiday season last year and in this one as well, because I just love these foil shades because they do kind of give off the Christmas vibes, like with that silver and gold. So you have like silver bells, like that's kind of reminds me of. Okay, so moving into our top 11. These are legit like Christmas palettes. Well, minus like I think like 2, but they are literally themed for the Christmas season. So at number 11, you guys did not see me review this palette, but I did play with it off camera, just kind of test it out. But coming in number 11, we do have the NYX Cosmetics. This is the Ultimate Flamingo Fest. This is their version of a Christmas palette, and I will say it's really pretty. It's like one of those like pastel Christmassy palettes with like those mint greens, those like icy pinks, that little emerald and more neutral shades in here. You have the little Santa stocking and whatnot. Very cute, but I will say the formula definitely took me by surprise because it wasn't as pigmented as like the other NYX like fall palette that I got. That was such a pigmented palette. It really took me by surprise. This one wasn't as much. A little bit more on the lackluster side, so I was kind of surprised by that. But I still do really like the Christmas feel in here. Now, it doesn't have any shade names. It just has numbers. But I do like how it has the little Christmas flamingos, especially because I live here in Florida. And we don't really get Christmas, and we have tons of flamingos. Well, over in Disney we do. And it's just really cute. It just reminds me of it. Like a little, just reminds me of like Animal Kingdom a little bit with all the flamingos. But I love the little Santa hat on there with the little Christmas lights and whatnot. So this is why at number 11, we do have the NYX Cosmetics Ultimate Flamingo Fest. Coming in at number 10, we do have the Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is the Whimsical Nudes palette. Now, she actually launched this during Christmas last year. And while this may not necessarily look like a Christmas palette, it definitely has some of those Christmas tones where you're going to have like those deep like olive greens and like those bright greens. You could do like a Christmas tree look with it. You can wear this during, Christmas. You can wear this during holiday parties. I just feel like this is really beautiful. She did kind of want this to be somewhat of a Christmas vibe, just a tiny bit, with it being like a whimsical nude. She launched it right for the holiday season. So this was a perfect holiday palette and definitely kind of reminds me as such. So that is why at number 10, we do have the Whimsical Nude palette from Laura Lee Los Angeles. Coming in at number 9, we do have the Lunar Beauty. This is the 12 Days of Lunar. I love what Manny did last year with this. He actually made every single shade into an advent calendar where you had to pop it open and kind of essentially create your own eyeshadow palette. Now, everybody got the same shades, but how you chose to lay it out was completely up to you. So this is my palette right here. Now, I love this because you can use this literally anytime throughout the year, but you could also use it for the holiday season because you are going to have those golds, those golds, the champagne, the rose gold, the neutral shades. And I feel like it's such a pretty palette. Like you could even just take these two and just make this just for like a Christmas look. Just like right here. Very, very beautiful. I love the advent calendar style feel, plus the very front is very pretty. Now, the only thing that I had to say negative about this palette was I just hated that the outside packaging didn't match the color story on the inside. I wish it kind of went more of like the icy winter vibes, like the light blues and silvers and whites and maybe some grays and some lavenders and purples. Like that would have been absolutely perfect because it would have matched the vibes on the outside, but the color story on the inside kind of threw me off. But I still think it's a really pretty like holiday palette. So that is why at number 9 we do have the Lunar Beauty 12 Days of Lunar palette. Coming in at number 8, we do have the ColourPop. This is the Aurora Struck palette. Now, they released this last Christmas. And whenever I see this, I think of Christmas. I think of winter. I think of snow. I think of the Aurora Borealis. I think of just like being like at night, looking at all the mountains with the snow caps and just seeing the Aurora Borealis is the vibes that I get from here. So here is that palette. You're going to have those pastel, cool tone, beautiful icy blues, silvers, purples, whites, and a little bit of grays in here. Now, this is a beautiful like winter wonderland palette. Not only is the outside packaging absolutely gorgeous, but the inside packaging just really matches it as well. Now, it wasn't really supposed to be like a Christmas-esque palette. It's supposed to be like almost like a space theme. But I just associate it with like a winter wonderland. This is my idea of like a winter wonderland palette. Now it does have like some fun names like Arctic Fox and stuff, but the rest just reminds me of like the North Pole winter-esque vibe. So that is why I have it featured pretty high today, because it just reminds me of just a winter wonderland palette. So that is why at number 8, we do have the Aurora Stuck palette from ColourPop. Coming in at number 7, we do have the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. Ooh, naughty or nice. So we have the little naughty palette right here. Now this was their version of a Christmas palette, plus the little COVID bubble that you see right there. So this is Huda Beauty's idea of a Christmas themed palette, and I can definitely see it. Like, you do have like those cranberry shades in here, a little bit of golds and rose golds and champagnes and neutrals, and you can wear this honestly any season, but this is definitely geared towards like the holidays, along with it being like a naughty to nice palette. I think they would have been really cool if they would have just released a nice palette like with a naughty nice. You gotta pick which side you are, but I just thought this was a lot of fun. I think it's a really beautiful like Christmas inspired palette. I think it's a really beautiful like holiday inspired palette. So that is why at number 7 we do have the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. Coming in at number 6, we do have ColourPop. This is the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We have this eyeshadow palette, which they did bring back, so this palette is officially back in stock. If you guys cannot find it on ColourPop's website, you guys can definitely find it at Target and at Ulta. I've been seeing it everywhere, but this is ColourPop's Christmas palette. This is the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer palette. Now, I didn't get the Muppet ones because I'm not a fan of the Muppets, so I didn't get that palette, but they did have this really cute one, and this is definitely a very beautiful Christmas style palette. You're going to have those greens, those reds, those golds, and those neutrals. Perfect for the holiday season. Plus, every single name has to do with like a Christmas vibe. You have the cute Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you have the snow, you have the Christmas tree. This just really just gives off the vibe for Christmas, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. This is such a fun palette. I'm really glad they brought this back for the Christmas season, because this truly is. It's a Christmas palette. It's a Christmas palette true and through. It's a Christmas palette. So number 6, we do have ColourPop's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Coming in at number 5, we do have the Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Snow Lodge palette, and they did actually release a North Pole palette. I think it was last year they released it. I decluttered that palette because I didn't like it, and I decluttered it. So that's why it's not being featured today. But we're featuring their other one, which is the Snow Lodge palette. Now this takes place more like after Christmas. This is like when people go sledding and skiing after the Christmas season, when it's like still winter for a couple months. But to me, I could still associate this as a holiday / Christmas palette, because you are going to have those reds, those greens, those golds, and a little bit of those blues. Like you have the icy blues, you have the Christmas colors, and you have the neutral colors in here. Everything you need for a beautiful Christmas palette. I love the concept of this. This makes me feel like I'm at a ski lodge. This makes me feel like I have hot cocoa with a little Christmas tree and falling snow. Like, this is the vibes that I get from this palette. I ranked it really high last year, and I'm ranking it really high this year because it really is a beautiful holiday / Christmas palette in my opinion. So that is why at number 5 we do have the Nomad Cosmetics. We have the Snow Lodge palette. Now coming in at number 4, this should be no surprise who the next 4 palettes are by, because they literally catered these palettes to Christmas. So coming in at number 4, we do have the Hey Reindeer palette. Now this is Odin Eye Cosmetics version of a Christmas palette. Now first off, we have the cute little reindeer with all the little Christmas ornaments, Christmas lights, stocking. I love any sort of palettes. I love any sort of Christmas ornaments or feel that have little animals in it. I think like the animals are so cute. Clearly, I love Christmas reindeers. I have them all behind me. So when I saw this, I got super, super excited because I thought that's going to be the same concept. Now, when you open the color story is very disappointing to me. It looks more like a spring palette than a Christmas palette, in my opinion. I don't see Christmas colors in the slightest, but I still have to rank it pretty high because it is a Christmas themed palette. All the names in the back are Christmas stuff, like Christmas ham, mistletoe, bell, fireplace, sleigh, reindeer, greeting, wreath, ivory, presents, snow wish, Christmas stocking, holly, eggnog. Like everything about the physical packaging screams Christmas, but the inside color story personally does not, in my opinion. But that again is just my opinion. But I still think it's really cute. I still feel like it does fit the vibes of like the Christmas season with just the way that it's packaged. So that's why it's ranked pretty high. Is physically the packaging alone screams Christmas to me than so many other palettes I have that I talked about already. So that is why at number 4 we do have the Odin's Eye Cosmetics Hey Reindeer palette. Coming in at number 3, we do have the Odin Eye Cosmetics. This is the Snow Dream palette. Now again, this screams holiday. Not necessarily Christmas fully, but definitely does scream like winter wonderland. It does scream holiday season with like the snowman, the gingerbread cookies, the ornaments, the baking. Super freaking cute. Then we look at the back, again, you're going to have all the Christmas inspired names on the back. And then the color story on the inside, to me, it really is a beautiful Christmas color story. It's going to be more on like the light pastel side, or like the lighter shades like the mints and the golds, but you're gonna have those classic Christmas colors of the red, golds, and greens and whites. That to me screams Christmas. The names in here really did it for me, but so did the actual color story as well. I really loved playing this palette. I thought it was a beautiful addition to their Christmas line they have going on. I think this really did scream like a nice little version of Christmas, like a lighter version, but a beautiful version of Christmas. So that is why at number 3, we do have the Odin's Eye Cosmetics Snow Dream Palette. Coming in at number 2, this should be no surprise because it came in at number 2 last year, but we have the Odin's Eye. This is the Christmas Eve palette. First off, it has Christmas in the title, Christmas Eve. I love to see the Christmas trees and all that, but when you open up the inside color story, this to me is beautiful. Now this screams like silver bells. This screams like winter wonderland, sleigh rides, icicles. This screams like the night before Christmas when you're laying out the milk and cookies for Santa, that you're listening to Christmas music, all the presents are wrapped, you have everything going, like the kids are in bed. Like this is that palette for me. It's very beautiful. It definitely does feel like this would be the perfect Christmas Eve palette. And not just for Christmas Eve, but you can wear this all winter long, as well as wearing this for like New Year's as well. I think it's a very versatile palette. It's a very, very gorgeous palette. And I think Nomad did the perfect job with this palette. I fell in love with this so much. And it's so hard to rank it against number 1 because I love them both equally, but I will say this is a beautiful holiday palette in my opinion. So that is why at number 2, we do have the Christmas Eve palette with Odin's Eye. And last but not least, coming in at number 1, which is what I'm wearing on my eyes today, we do have the Odin's Eye Merry Christmas palette. I am wearing this on my eye today because, again, I love wearing this during the Christmas season. It is just a gorgeous Christmas palette. First off, you're going to have the Christmas tree with the reindeer, the snow, the ornaments, the lights. You have all of that. You have the beautiful names that scream Christmas on the back. Everything screams Christmas about this palette, but it's the color story on the inside that just does it for me. The color story on the inside is Christmas. You are going to have those golds, those greens, those reds, and even a little bit of the neutrals. Everything about this to me is Christmas. I am wearing the shade Gingerbread along with the shade called Santa Star, along with the shade called Snowman right here. Now I did just kind of deepen it up with a bronzer, just deepen it up just a little bit because there wasn't too much of a deep shade, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. A very beautiful Christmas palette in my mind. Every time I look at this, I think of Christmas. I want to do Christmas inspired looks. I get super excited. I'm so glad they actually restocked this back this year. I don't know if they're still available, but I do have 2 extra that will be featured in my Christmas giveaway next week. But I just think this is such a beautiful, beautiful palette. Definitely the perfect palette for Christmas. So that is why at number 1 we do have that is why coming in at number 1 we do have the Merry Christmas palette with Odin's Eye. So those are all my Christmas / holiday inspired palettes. I know they all kind of look similar, and I kind of explained the similar reasons why they're all ranked there, but these are kind of the palettes that I go to during the Christmas and holiday season. These are the palettes that I look at and I go, I just want to create like a beautiful golden eye look and just have fun all month long. And I just really, really, really do enjoy doing the ranking series because it just allows me to rediscover palettes that I may have forgotten about that I only touch during the holiday season, and just gets me super, super excited about Christmas, and it gets me wanting to create beautiful looks like this all the time because I love the Christmas season. Not as much as I love Halloween, but I still love it just as much. So those are all of my palettes that inspired me during the Christmas and holiday season. Let me know down below what palette you love the most out of here. Are there any palettes that I need to check out that I may have forgotten or didn't mention? Let me know. But that is it for today's video, guys. I'm so excited because next week starts our declutter series. And don't forget that on Wednesday, December 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are doing my 10 days of Christmas giveaways. And we're doing it all in one night. I will be live streaming for hours, giving away 10 boxes of goodies to you guys as my way of saying Merry Christmas and thank you for the beautiful year that you guys have given me. So I'll go over all of that as soon as the day comes, but stay tuned. It's the same thing that I did for my birthday as well as my over giveaway. I'll be doing just a live giveaway. I'll have some hot chocolates and cookies and a Christmas sweater, and I'm just going to be having so much fun hanging out with you guys, giving away 10 days worth of Christmas gifts. So with that said, guys, that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. So I do post 4 to 5 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful paid to members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video. Bye! So this right here is definitely like a little version of like the minis. That is why at number 3, that's why number 3 we do the Charlotte. We had the Charlotte Tilbury. We have the luxury pillow. We do have the Glamlight Twist of Sleep palette, and we do have the color. Coming in number 25. This palette is pretty much featured throughout most of all this palette. So it's still not as high because it doesn't give as. It's still not as high because it doesn't give as. And then when you open the color story on the inside again, and then you open up the little pack,